In this video, we are going to perform a full text search. Okay, so we will be just learning the complete concept about full text search. In the previous video, we just learnt about the simple search. So I will just give you an introduction. So what we did, we created a very simple form in which we created a text field so that the user can enter whatever name he want to enter. Let's say if we want to fetch a row using the first name or last name, so that's how I had designed the query. So in this case, I used first name in order to fetch a row. Okay, so I will just show you. This is my database programming, and inside this database we created a table student. Okay, so this table consisted of 4 columns: first name, last name, gender and age. Now simple search means we are searching for some rows. Okay, if I need some data, then I can use this method. Okay, so this was what the simple search is all about. So here we made use of first name, that if the user enters first name, let's say if I enter Vatsal, then I will get the row Vatsal Mehta. Okay, I will just say submit and I will get Vatsal Mehta because I'm just printing here first name and the last name. Okay, now one thing I forgot to tell you, many of you must be thinking that in this query we can even use the or. Okay, we can use or last name equal to dollar keywords, or gender is equal to dollar keywords. Okay, many of you must be thinking that in this way also we can design a query. So what is the actual difference between a simple search and a full text search? Because in this case, now I have designed a query like this, means I'm comparing whatever keyword the user has entered with all the 3 columns. Okay, where first name is this or last name is this. So it will first check with this. If it does not found any thing using the first name column, then it will move to last name column, or it will move to the gender column. So I will just save it and I will just refresh it. Now let's say if I enter male, I will get all the 3 columns. Okay, if I say male, I will say submit and I got all the 3 rows. Okay, now if I enter the last name, let's say if I enter Shah, so I will get Kevin Shah onto the screen. Okay, so even in this way it could have been implemented, right? Many of you must be thinking the same. But here is one difference between simple search and full text search. That means I cannot enter more than one keyword. Let's say if I enter Kevin and male, let's say, in this case it should give us all the 3 columns. Why Kevin? Because we have 2 rows where first name is Kevin, and male because all the 3 genders are male. So it should give us all the 3 columns. See, I will just click submit. Okay, uh, so see, in this case it did not give us anything. Why? Because I entered 2 keywords, Kevin and male. See, so in simple search, you can enter only one keyword. It will just compare this keyword with all the columns. Okay, so that's why I said that full text search is much more advanced, because you can enter multiple keywords and based on those keywords you will get the result. Okay, so this was simple search. Okay, in this way you can implement simple search. Okay, and we make use of or and we have or and, but in this case or is suitable because first I am comparing this keyword with the column first name. If it does not exist in this column, then I will compare with this and then this. Okay, okay, so now what I will do is I will first go to my database and we will delete this table. Okay, I will just go to database programming. Here I will just delete this table and we will recreate this. Okay, since it is a new topic, let's start from the base. So I will just drop this table, drop table student. I will just drop this and we will recreate it. Okay, so the table has been deleted and now let's recreate that same table. But now in full text search, you will have to make a single change. Okay, I will tell you. First we say create table, then we give the name. Okay, here I am giving student only, and even here we will keep 4 columns. Okay, let's say first name, which is varchar. Let's say it is 50. Then I will say last name, which is also varchar, and let's give it 50. Then I will say gender, which is also varchar, and I will give it 50. Now I will say age as int. Okay, and now comes one trick. When you want to implement full text search, you have to assign a constraint, an index called full text search on the columns. So if you want to search based on first name, last name, gender and age, all the 4 columns, then you will have to assign that index to all these columns. Okay, so basically you need to decide what all columns you are going to take into hand when you want to implement that searching. Okay, so in this case I will apply, I am going to assign that index to all the 4 columns. But here one thing to note, we cannot assign that index to integer fields. Okay, we cannot, because it works only on strings. So there are two ways. Either you can just keep it index and don't assign any index to this field, or you can keep it as varchar. But see, even if you keep it varchar, you will be able to assign that constraint to this column. But while searching, you cannot, because whenever it comes to searching, usually it works on string values. Okay, we cannot search based on the integer values. So I will just say, for now I will just keep it varchar so that we can assign that index. Okay, and now here, okay, instead of 50 I will say 10. Now you need to assign that index, so for that I will say full text. The name of the index is full text, and now inside the parenthesis you have to pass all the column names that you want to assign that this index. Now I want to assign this index to first name, as well as to last name, as well as to gender. Now there is actually no use of assigning this index to age column because it is going to contain an integer value, but still I will just assign it. I will just say age. Okay, so this is how the syntax looks like. First, normally we have to uh, just declare all the column names, and then this full text index, you have to assign this full text index to whatever columns that you want. It is not necessary to assign this index to all the columns. It's up to you. Okay, now I will just click go. Okay, okay, so the table has been created, and now I will just insert some values into this table. Okay, I will just say insert into the table name is student. Let's say the values as, first I will say first name as Kevin, then let's keep the last name as Shah, let's keep the gender as male, and age as 21. I will just copy it and we will insert some more rows. Okay, I will just say this. Okay, and here I will just change the values. Instead of Kevin I will say Vatsal, instead of Shah I will say um okay, I will just keep it Vatsal Shah, and here Kevin, and here I will just say Himasya. Okay, here I will just change the age as, let's say, 24, and here we could keep it as 28. Okay, I have purposely use the same first name, same last name, okay, to show you the difference, that we can fetch more than one row. Okay, it is not like using the keywords we can only fetch one row. We can fetch as many rows as uh, depending on that keyword. So let's say if that keyword is present in 5 rows, then all those 5 rows will be fetched. Okay, so now let's click on go and insert these values. Okay, so values have been inserted. I will just show you the values and the table. Okay, so this is how the table is looking like. Okay, we have three columns. Okay, now let's start. Now there is only one difference, as I said. The difference is of query. So I will just uh, cut out this query and I will just rewrite this. Okay, okay. Now instead of this query, what we will say, select first name and last name. I'm just fetching out two columns. If you want, you can fetch out all the columns. It's up to you. From the table name is student, where now here comes the magic. Here you need to use a function first match. Inside this function, you will have to pass all those column names to which you have assigned that full text index. Now I have assigned that index to all the columns. So I will pass all that column names over here. I will say here last name, then gender, and then age. Okay. If I had assigned that full text index only to first name and last name, then I would have passed only these two column names inside this function. But since I have assigned all the four columns, I have assigned that index to all the four columns. That's why I have passed all these columns. Okay. Then comes the keyword against. Okay, I will just say against. Okay, here it should not end here. Okay, here. Okay, then we use a function against, and here you need to pass the keyword that user has entered. Now I have provided a form to a user. Okay, so I will just show you that form. Okay, this is the form where user can enter all the keywords. Okay, now I can access those keywords using this name attribute. So here I have done that. I have stored all those variables inside this variable. So inside this, I will just pass that variable. I'll just say here dollar keywords. Okay. So this is how the query will look like. Here we are using two new functions, match and against. Okay. Now I will just save it and let's reload this. Okay. Now I will just say here, firstly I will say Kevin. Let's first say Kevin, so it should give us two rows. Okay, I will just say submit. Okay, so it gave us the two rows. Okay, now since I have assigned the full text index to first name, that's why I have passed here, so it will search on the basis of all the columns. Okay, if I pass last name, let's say if I pass Shah, so it will give me Kevin Shah and Vatsal Shah as well. Okay, I forgot I had assigned this. Okay, so we got two. If I say Khimasya, I will get one row. Kevin Khimasya. But now I can enter more than two keywords as well. Let's say if I enter Kevin and male, so I will get all the three rows. That's because Kevin, because of first name, we will get this row, and male because of the second one as well, because of male. So I will just say Kevin and male. I'll submit. Okay, and we got all the three columns. So you can pass more than two keywords, more than one keyword as well. That was not possible in case of simple search, but here we can do this. So this is the biggest difference between simple search and full text search, and full text search is much more advanced. Okay. Yeah, but one more thing, you cannot actually fetch the values using the integer values. Okay, let's say if I enter any integer keyword, let's say if I enter 21 here, let's say. Now if I click on submit, I don't get anything. Okay, so usually it works only with string values. Okay, it works perfectly with string values. So this is how the query is looking like. And yeah, this is all for today's video. Thank you.